When you had a shitty day, nothing's going right. Waking up to a class or job that you never liked. Take a moment, breathe, sit back, be a weeb. May not be as bad as it all seems. It's all the same, it's all the same.
It's all the same, it's all the same.
It's all the same, it's all the same. It's all the same, it's all the same. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Band Podcast. We're Blluist.
Hello, everyone.
What's up? My name is Greg.
And my name is Blue.
And this is what? Episode
20.
20, Blue.
Finally at episode 20.
20 episodes. This episode's going to definitely be really different from the other ones just because of what's happening since our last episode. Not just Japan, but everywhere else is
else in general.
Right? It's completely different. We're all staying in. I got my facial hair. I got the bun up. Things
my hair's turning blonde.
Yeah. Things visually and mentally are changing all over the world right now. But yeah, it's a good time to be taking a podcast. I think it's
I think so too.
We had a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff. So we'll do some of the sub questions at the end. We got some questions from our subs, but I mean, first off, probably biggest game that we played, probably Final Fantasy VII Remake, right?
Yep.
How was that?
Oh man, it's I don't. Of course, there might be some people who haven't played it, so I don't want to get too into specifics. But let's just say having to wait for the next installment is a little it's gonna be difficult because we got off. It ended on like a big cliffhanger and. Now we gotta wait a few more years for the next installment, so I am curious as to where they're gonna be taking the story.
I agree.
I did enjoy it though. It was nice, like the new graphics, like they added some characters, and it was just nice to see like all those beloved characters come back to in like a higher definition, and everyone didn't have like this like oversized forearm kind of thing. So yeah,
and I think
really nice.
People have definitely been seeing a lot of stuff. Some people have avoided all the stuff, so they heard Final Fantasy VII and they're like, okay, can't listen to this anymore. Next month's podcast. But one thing was something I guess we can talk about here that's kind of different is it was kind of a scary game going into because as a streamer, we knew everybody was going to stream that game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there was kind of this moment where it's like, hey, we really want to play this game and we want to play with everybody, but is it the best decision for us to go in right now? And our answer was, let's just take as much time as we can. So we kind of have we start off the same, but we give people enough time to finish it.
Yeah.
And then hang out
and
with
come
us.
back. Yeah.
Because we probably took what? I know some people that finished in like 2 days or like 3 days of streaming.
I think like average time was like a week maybe.
Right.
A week of streaming.
And
but we took like a couple weeks, I think 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was probably really frustrating for a lot of people because they some people just were watching the game through our stream and they didn't have the means to play the actual game. So they were like, where's the next part or whatever, and it was really cool to see that excitement. But we also had like Animal Crossing too. That's another game that came out, which is like the perfect quarantine game, I think.
Yeah, it's like it was made for quarantine in the best way possible.
So it was like, we took our time with it, and then we ended it was like 2 weeks. And considering we stream 4 times a day for 6 hours each, then
4 times a week.
4 times a week, 6 hours each. That's a long time to be playing that game, but we finished it. Unfortunately, we thought we wanted to last longer.
A little bit longer, especially I was hoping that we'd still be playing it by the time my cosplay got here, and my cosplay is still not here.
Sold.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully, once it comes here, I will definitely be cosplaying it. It might be a different game, of course.
Part 2.
But
Part 2.
Yeah, I will be Yeah, I will definitely be wearing it. So
That's right.
We might have to be a little bit more patient.
Well, we'll think of something. I mean, I don't think the hype for Final Fantasy VII is going to die out anytime soon, Blue. So
for sure.
we could tie in. And we got the 2-year coming up. If the cosplay comes by the 2-year, that could be something.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
That'd be
nice.
Along with like the Blluist awards and all the other fun stuff, we can definitely throw that in there. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy VII was great. Animal Crossing is, I think a lot of people are, first off, just playing the game. Just the player base of that game is ridiculous. It brings
Massive,
in so many people, different types of people to the stream. People that are already on the stream. It's almost like this new version of Just Chat, but everyone can be also focused on the cute characters. It definitely made people want to get the Switch. I get DMs about they want to get the Switch, but they don't know where to get it, so they have to buy it up-priced. So they're like, do you think it's worth it?
Or like if I should get the normal Switch or the Switch Lite.
People, it's definitely people. You can't, when people first start not being able to get the Switch, you could get it everywhere in Japan still.
Yeah.
And then you give it like a week, and then you can't buy it anymore.
Sold out, yeah.
And I was like, I think it was on stream. I looked up Nintendo like Switch prices, and it was like $500 again. I was like, this reminds me of when I first tried to get one when it first dropped, when it first came out, and those were like the crazy prices. So I'm really glad that we were able to get, we kind of invested in the Switch before, because that is, especially for us, it's such a good couch co-op game.
Yeah, for sure.
When it first came out, we actually hung out with some people, and they brought their Switches. Like, we were like hanging out. It was still the time when we could still go out for drinks and stuff. It was like right at that line, and people were like, they're not normal people that would like bring out their consoles to like a social place, but they were still like, guys, check this new fish out. Like, I just caught this fish, and it was
I think it's a great tool to like meet up with your friends too, because you physically can't right now, and so it kind of gives you an excuse to go visit your friends, even if it is in the virtual world.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of games that can do that, but I think Animal Crossing is probably the most accessible for people that aren't even interested in games.
I think it's more low key as well, because you're just hanging out fishing.
Yeah.
Or you can just kind of hang out and not really do anything, and just kind of enjoy, I guess, the atmosphere that is Animal Crossing and how chill it is.
And you can still get pants with the chain wallet, so it's got some good glamour options. It's fantastic. So those are probably the two games we've probably been enjoying, the new games that we've been enjoying the most in the last month. A lot of our streams have been that. We did some Just Chatting. We just got off a stream right now, probably 20 minutes ago, about a new PC, possibly a new PC build. Community helped us build that, so thank you guys so much with all the help and all the advice.
Planning, yeah.
Because we would be lost, completely lost. And even worse, I had to go to work. Today was supposed to be like both of us, because I work at home now, but I got called in last minute. So it was just you. So you just had to just take in all this information.
Yeah, it was a lot of confusion and a lot of furrowed eyebrows and a lot of head tilts, but we made it through okay, I think. So.
I'm very glad that our community is very helpful with that kind of stuff.
Everyone was very nice enough to like explain, like, okay, you need this part because this does this, or like this part does like this thing for your stream, and so you need like this one has to be really powerful. This one you can just get like a shitty cheap one because it doesn't really matter, kind of like things like that. So it was nice that they kind of broke down every part and explained it to me to see what we needed to spend money on and which ones we can kind of maybe downgrade if it's too much money.
Yeah, I think we got a good one, good setup. Hopefully we'll be like trying to see how much we can do on our own, and then maybe get help from like donations and stuff like that too, and hopefully get myself, because I don't have a PC right now. It's Blue's like main computer, so, and then we'll build the new computer, and then I'll take the old one and then add some new parts to that too, so it should be good. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
One thing that I people ask us a lot, people that know that we stream, like our IRL friends, which we Zoom with them, and we hang out online now. They ask us, like, with the whole Twitch thing, you guys are doing Twitch, people are staying in, you guys must be doing crazy now like on Twitch, like compared to before. And we kind of like, we were just like, yeah, but we kind of like brush off the thing, and we never really took the time to really think about that. So I thought this is a good time to kind of like discuss that with you. So what do you think? Like the last month, it's definitely, the situation has completely changed. Like the world situation. How do you feel about streaming?
We're seeing even more like people who usually couldn't make it because of work. They've been able to make it on stream recently. We've seen some people who we haven't seen for a couple months come in.
That's true. People from like the first month too coming in. Yeah.
So we've had a lot of like returning people. So I think numbers wise, we are doing better than usual. I think.
I've turned off my numbers completely for the last 2 months, so I don't really know.
I only check it like once every stream, like maybe in the middle stream when we're eating.
Yeah.
And usually we are doing a little bit better than usual, but I think we're still not quite there yet with the 75.
Yeah.
But we are getting closer. I think we're early
crazy.
60s, like consistent early 60s now.
That's so cool,
average.
Man. I mean, I think I've said this before, but getting that badge is the starting line of everything. But so it's not like we shouldn't be putting all our energy into how can we just get that badge, you know? Like we should always be thinking about how can we like hang out with everybody more, have them more entertained and stuff like that, even with or without the badge, because that's not why, you know, our fam is there. They're not there because we don't have a badge, or it's not about that. So but it's cool to see that our numbers are definitely going up. It seems like that. I think the Final Fantasy VII, the games also have to do that too. There was some crazy hype train thing going on when we were doing Final Fantasy VII. And it's really interesting now because I think having the blue solo streams is a very important part of Blluist. And starting this year, we had more. We took a lot of time to kind of schedule out. We changed our schedule, and we're like, okay, let's give more like blue time, you know. But now, usually, those times I'm not here, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here next to you now.
And that's a little. To be honest, it's a little half embarrassing, half nerve-wracking. Because I think you can partially hear some of the things when I'm streaming. I
try to block it out because I know it's really weird to see someone that you work with watch you work, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just always like, I try to, I have the headphones on. I'm always listening to music or something like that, just so I don't, and I'm always looking over there, or like I'm over by the kitchen table to make sure to kind of social distance each other. Because I don't want to add any extra anxiety or anything like that, but.
Not necessarily anxiety. It's more like it's just weird knowing, like usually it's just by myself, and I think the atmosphere of stream is also different when I'm by myself, and so it's a little, not necessarily maybe embarrassing, but it does make me a little nervous that you're just sitting there listening, because it's just not something I'm really used to, and sometimes like I would hear you like answer questions I'm reading aloud, and it's like, okay, so he can't hear. And it's just, oh my god. So
sometimes I answer, like I'll be lurking in chat, and that's a normal thing, but you just can't physically see me, right? So I would read something, and I was like, oh, Blue missed that, or like, because it's just a normal thing, but because I'm not streaming, I miss it too, and I'm streaming myself, but I would like catch it, like, oh, I wonder when she's gonna answer that, and then they'll like ask again, and then like I'll just say it out loud or something like that, like, and it's like, it's so hard, and I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to be.
But I think it's just something you naturally do.
Oh yeah, that
so you
also.
You just answer it, because sometimes I'd be reading out, because someone would ask like, oh wait, what's that one game you guys were looking forward to, kind of thing, and I'd be like, which one was it? And you'd be like, it's this. Like all of a sudden,
I don't know,
like really quickly. So I don't think you're actually like saying it that loud either. It's just you're sitting right there, so I can just hear you mumbling to yourself about it. And so I think it's just like you're in this mindset like, oh, she's reading chat, I gotta answer, kind of thing. Because it's just that's the usual workflow of us streaming now. Is when one of us reads out a question, we answer.
I definitely have that. Even if it's something you can't hear, I'll say it in my head at least, and I'll be like, oh, this is, like, I would like respond to that or something like that. And if they ask a question, I'll definitely answer it in my head 100%. So we kind of changed, and I work from home now, which is also a whole nother dynamic on my end where I work, and this is probably for a lot of people too, but I work like 5 steps from my workstation now, and I used to be able to differentiate, work and, streaming. But now I can't physically because I can see it happening right there, or like I would just sit in the place that I would normally stream. It really messes with your head. Like, it makes you not want to work and just want to go into stream. It takes a lot of you need to control yourself, and it's also, I think it really leads to like kind of a deteriorating mental state if you just stay in all the time, and you can't go outside. You can't differentiate any type of, the indoor life and the outdoor life. I think it really affected. I know it affected a lot of people around me, at least for a while, because people are like losing jobs. Like, my pay definitely got cut a lot. But we have savings, so it's like I'm sure we can make it out. But like, I feel like a lot of people might be, like facing depression, and it's like just really bad news all around. And did that affect you at all? Because I feel like your lifestyle hasn't really changed that much.
Yeah, mine hasn't. I think the only thing is, like, we don't really go out to see friends anymore, and that does seem really weird. It seems like we haven't gone outside in forever, because we used to go out every couple weeks to go see them, and now we don't have those kind of outings anymore. So, but that's, I think, the only thing for me, because I don't regularly go out to Shibuya or anything like that. So, it must be very different for you, right? But like, for what, it's been about a month since you started working from home.
1 month.
So if for example, even if Corona, like, the whole thing passed by and everything's okay and now everyone can go outside again, would you consider working from home, or do you actually, like, do you miss going to work, physically going to work?
I hate going to work. It's something that I need to get used to, but would I prefer it? 100%, because being home, with the family is always going to be better. There's always that moment when you wake up and then you're getting ready to go to work where you just don't want to go. It's like same with school, same with work, and you think you get over it, and you get over it. It's almost like a roller coaster. You get over it sometimes, and then the drop comes again, and I'm at the point where I've done it enough where I know that the drop is coming, and I'm just tired of the drop. If you stay at home and you get used to it, there's opportunities to go outside. You can go outside, like the supermarket, maybe running or something if I wanted to. So I would much rather work in a comfortable place. I've realized that I work on Twitch, and like Twitch stuff, like ideas and stuff, is just so much easier when I'm at home. And since this is my workplace, when I'm on Twitch, I can like switch on a lot easier and a lot more. I can stay more focused with Twitch stuff. Like the normal day work bullshit, whatever stuff, I don't care. But the stuff that actually like matters, I can focus more. So I would take this over that whatever stuff. Is like my opinion. So 100%, this, if I can get used to this, in which I can, this would be the answer, is what I think. It's like a weird thing, because I know some people are like, I need to go back to work, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, it's rough right now, and it's these people, like, they didn't lose their job or anything. Why would you ever want to go back to a cubicle ever again?
I think for a lot of people, because our friend was saying this, was like, it's kind of like it's the routine. Mm-hmm. And now it seems like it's this weird like break in routine where it does separate work and home, and so it kind of like it helps you put on the switch when you go outside and you step into the building of your workplace. Then it's like it's the switch that turns on that makes you put into like that gets you into this working, like, I guess, mode. Yeah, I guess. And so it makes it easier for them to concentrate and work, kind of thing. I
did the thing where when we first started, it was really getting to me. So I was like, I would get up, get ready, and I'm at home, but I would change, and I would kind of be prepared as if I was going, and I would like try to like simulate that. that didn't work. That didn't last long, but because I just got used to it and I was okay with it. And it also changes because my workload has decreased so much now that I work, because a lot of my clients aren't working right now. They can't get work because with movies and stuff. So, and a lot of the movie theaters are shut down right now. So that has something to do with it too. But it's amazing that I get to work a lot more focusing on, like feels cozy stuff, like set that up, or new ideas for streams. Think about how we can get new games and do new content with that. And it's but a lot of the stuff I want to go outside and do, like a lot of the ideas, like meet people outside, hang out with people outside, stream that, but we can't do that, so it limits what we can do too. So it's kind of like balancing that out. Another thing we did this month was, or last month I should say, was the Isa Kite Podcast. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple months.
Yeah, and for good reason too. Like there was a very, very good reason why we kind of like held off on it, and this was definitely the perfect timing to do that.
Yeah. It was really nice to kind of go back and see everyone and kind of get to come back as like a team, I guess, if that makes sense.
Say hi to everybody.
So,
unfortunately Toph couldn't be there.
Yeah.
But
hopefully he can join us for next time.
Yeah, but I think we talked to Toph because we do have the Isa Kite Discord, and he talks to us a lot on there. So it feels like we haven't seen each other physically, but it's not like he's still there. He's doing good. It was, for me, it was like, is Joey gonna be there? And then for Schleb, who doesn't live in Tokyo, it's always nice to see her. And we don't really, especially now, it's hard to do anything with Isekai. But that I really appreciate and like that safe point with them. And it's always good because we always like finish stream and then we'll go off stream and then have our little DVC for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and it's always nice catching up with everybody. And it's always nice to talk to people that are doing the same thing as us.
And go through like what's if they're doing okay with Corona, or like if how their stream is doing during all this and things like that. So it's kind of nice to be able to talk to people who's going through like very similar situations. Yeah.
So I was really stoked that we did the Isa Kite Podcast. Hopefully there's definitely going to be more coming up. We have a game that we thought of when it's our turn again to host it. For people that don't know, Isekai is our stream team made with streamers in Tokyo, or in Japan, and we have a podcast called Save Point, and we switch off who hosts it every single time, and we have a little game for the next one, so hopefully that'll be good. It might be really scuffed though, but
we'll see.
We'll see. Speaking of podcasts, we did two new episodes of the Feels Cozy. We got Shizuka Anderson, and this week we did Joey Chaotic and Haremi. Those are the first two. Well, first off, Shizuka wasn't on Twitch. It was her first time pretty much on Twitch to like really have like a featured kind of stream.
It was the first time we got a non-Twitch streamer on our show.
Yeah. So she was like, how does chat work? And I'm like, just pop this up, twitch.tv/Blluist. The chat will be here, and then they'll be talking to you. And then she actually messaged me afterwards saying she's like really, really interested in Twitch now. And so maybe we'll actually get a Twitch Shizuka channel. That was really weird for me because I was interviewing my friend, like my college friend. So it took me a while to kind of get into gear of, okay, I'm interviewing her as a content creator and not as like a college friend.
As a friend, yeah.
Yeah, so that was weird too. And she's your friend too, so was that weird for you at all?
A little bit, just because like whenever we would go get dinner and hang out and stuff, we just talk about very non-work related things, and then all of a sudden we're on the side of like us questioning her about her career and her life and everything, and it just felt really, it was hard to get into like a professional mindset. It just felt like I was just talking to her in the living room, so, which isn't a bad thing.
She was originally supposed to come to our house and do it, but
fortunately with the situation we couldn't have her come over, so
yeah. And then she was like, because she doesn't stream, she has nothing the whole thing was that she didn't have a setup.
Yeah.
So she wanted to come to our place, and then I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then we were like, are you still down? And she's like, I got this mic and I got this audio interface. I was like,
let's
you're like setting up to be a streamer already. What's going on? And then so she like just got this mic, and we were testing on Discord the night before, and she was like, hey, I have this mic and this audio interface thing, and I was like, yeah, just plug it in, let's try it out. And it was just a normal it's really good. It was like it wasn't a Yeti, but it was like a blue mic, right? And she has it, but she doesn't have a stand for it, and so she's holding it in her hand. Like, imagine like me holding like a Blue Yeti microphone like this, right? And she's just holding it like this. And you know, if you know anything about these microphones, they pick up
everything. Yeah.
So the wind every single time, and I was like, she's got here. You got some toilet rolls? This is what I used to do. Get toilet rolls, stack them up, and just put it in there. Put the mic in there and use it as like a makeshift mic stand, and that's what she did apparently. And
hey, it worked, right? So.
She had this whole like setup ready by the time, and she's just one of those people that when you first meet her, because when I first met her in college, I hope she's okay. That I'm talking about her when she's not here, but she definitely, that image that you see in her YouTube videos, happy, jolly, like when you first met her, like, hi, I'm not like I can't believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, oh, is this some act this person's, putting up? Like, they're just trying to be this, like, nice sounding person.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and, that's just the twisted person I am. So, but we hung out a lot, and I realized, it's either she's like a top-tier actress, or positive. She's like, this is it. Like, there's an actual human being like this. And I was like, no, fuck it, I can't do this. So I was like, it was after we all hung out, and I was like, Shizuka, you and me, we're going drinking right now. So then we went to a bar, like a pub, and I sat her down because she drinks too, and I was just like, I got her beer, and I was like, all right. And then I just started like machine gunning questions about just like, just to get to know her, because I realized I didn't really know her at that moment, and that's just Shizuka.
Yeah,
and I was like,
this is her.
And she told me like, hey Gray, like, I think I'm gonna go into this whole talent thing. And I was like, that's probably the perfect job for you, because you're not acting. This is not all some act you're putting on. You're actually this really sociable,
very positive,
very
open-minded person.
Yeah. And so like, she never judges anybody, and it's like to the point where it was really hard for me to believe it wasn't an act. And so she was talking about it on the podcast too, but like when she asked me about it, I was like, go for it. You gotta go for it. Like, that's what you want to do. I think there's nobody else that's more perfect than she's good for the gig, and that she still does that to this day. So then we got recently we got Joey Chaotic and Haremi on our podcast just a week, not even a week ago.
Couple days ago.
Yeah. Actually, the YouTube video is up, not even up yet. We'll post that up. We have to edit that and put it up. But yeah, how was that?
They were so cute. Oh my god.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
They were the cutest couple ever.
Yeah.
Like, the story of how they met and everything was so wholesome.
It was like straight out of a movie.
Yeah. It was like a romance movie kind of thing where it was like love at first sight, and he swept her off her feet, and he just kind of stole her from this guy that stood her up, and it was like, and I don't know, it was just so cute, and they're just they like complement each other so well.
I think so too. Yeah,
because she's super positive and she's very like carefree kind of thing,
very charismatic.
Yeah. And Joey's super positive as well, but I think he tends to like overanalyze things.
He's like,
but
she's more like
she's someone who's like, she'll tackle things as they come, and she doesn't really worry too much about all the details that she can't really help or she can't change. And he's someone who focuses on those details, and so they like balance each other out.
Yeah.
Like, he makes her work, she makes him like relax. Like, it's this like amazing like balance of, it's like the perfect couple.
Yeah,
they just balance each other out so well.
It's really, really, you could tell even within that hour of just talking to them that they really, yeah, like you said, complement each other. Joey's just a always hard worker, but he said that he tends to get in tunnel vision when he goes super hard. And then Haremi's there, also very hard worker, but knows how to, take the chill pill, which definitely I relate with Joey there, because Blue has to tell me to like calm the fuck down a lot. So that was really cool, and he was the first guest where we didn't have any prior connections to, and I've been watching his streams. I was having, like when I'm working on something, I'll have him in the background. He's one of those streamers for me. I thought,
you just contacted him, and
yeah,
he said yes.
I was like, I didn't know what the best way was, and then this is why I really, really liked like his socials. They're really easy to access. His email address, it just straight up says it, and I was like, I could like DM him, but he doesn't know me. Like, it's, his channel's a lot bigger than ours, and I just wanted to, sound as formal as possible as I could. So I emailed him, and it was also a very nice way to say yes was he came into chat and he said,
oh, we were streaming.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, got your email, we're down.
Yeah.
So and
it was really nice to meet them officially.
It took a while to kind of set it up, and he was just, through the whole time, he was just so like, hey, are you guys okay? I know this is before the state of emergency, so like, Abe they're gonna be probably gonna be announcing state of emergency. I hope you guys are good. And I was like, yeah, man, it must really be hard for your type of content too, because you got to be outside. And he's like, yeah, just gotta make sure I don't cause too much people problems. And he was very aware of what he was doing, how he was coming off, but this drive that was his main content, and if he stopped doing that, he can't pay the bills. And I could see that struggle, and it was really hard to see. And through the whole time, he was just like, we're gonna make it, okay? We're gonna make it. We're gonna do the feels cozy. We're gonna be there. I'm sorry, we're moving right now, so let us figure this out, but we will be there. And he was just all around just nice guy, dude. He was really, really cool. And we definitely we'll keep going. We gotta get Schleb on here. We gotta get Schleb on the feels cozy. We got another UI designer.
We've got a couple guests that we're planning to contact and get the setup with. So we do want to keep this going. We do want to keep inviting new, like, different types of people as well. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it.
Yeah. We've been talking. We have some podcast questions, but one little thing before we go into that, we also, a big thing for us is we changed up the Discord a lot. And I know if you're not on the Discord, none of this makes any sense, but we used to have a lot of channels. We kind of like put them all together. We got some really good suggestions from people in the community, and we kind of, I think it was long overdue because we haven't really changed it. And all we did was we kept adding stuff instead of deleting stuff, and just became this huge, really hard. It was the learning curve for the Blluist Discord was.
Yeah, like whenever someone new would come in, they'd be like, "Wait, this is really confusing. You guys have a lot of channels." So, yeah, it was definitely in need of some organizing and simplifying. And I think we did good. I think it's a lot easier to navigate and everything. So.
And what I thought was, like, I remember when we were like planning that, we sat down after stream and we're like, let's bang this out. Let's make this. And then we got the notepads out, and then we said, what's the problem with this? What's the problem with that? And I said, Blue, no, fuck all this. There should be only one criteria. And the one criteria that's going to solve all this problem is what's going to make you and me use Discord more. And that was the one criteria that we used when we organized it at the end, was what would make Blue and me and Blue use the Discord more. And when you do that, I think it solves all the problems of, like, being obnoxious. You don't want to check all the little, like, what's in this channel, what's in this channel, what's in this. It just puts it all together, and it makes it easier for everybody else. So that was we're like, you want to try just putting all the media stuff together, see what happens. And then so far it's working great. That's probably the channel I had the biggest, I was wondering if that was a good idea or not, because we put like 4 or 5 channels into one. So but yeah, it's working out. I think it's easier to use. I love using Discord more than before now. I can actually see what everybody's saying at a pretty decent pace, kind of like keep up. I just have Discord up on a separate monitor, like almost at all times now, just so I can jump in when I need to and stuff like that. So Discord's doing good. Anu's doing great. Sorry if you guys heard Anu.
Yeah, he's being a little needy right now, so I apologize.
So people that are listening to this on the audio have no idea what's going on, but Anu Bridge. All right, let's go to the podcast questions from community. All right, so first question is from Junior. Gray, if you had an obligation to hang out with either Kefka or Sephiroth, who would it be? Sephiroth, because I feel like at the end of the day and some intense battles, we could be friends. Sephiroth still has that kind of yes, he's definitely extremely evil, but he's one of those like quintessential evil villains with a very sad, backstory. Kefka's an all-around asshole that's like, which makes him a really good villain. He's just a dick. 0 to 100 on a scale of 1 to Alfred, he's just completely asshole. So and he's also dressed up as a clown, and clowns are scary. So Sephiroth is hot.
All right.
Yeah.
Second question is from Sloth. Why does Blue hate doing dabs? I just think it's really outdated and it's a meme. That's all.
Can you imagine? The blue.
I'm too sophisticated to do a dab, okay?
You're too sophisticated to do a dab, but you're not sophisticated enough to scratch Anu's butt while he bridges us.
He's got a cute butt. But okay, third question is from Matt. Oh, Matt. Your interviews are a lot of fun. Who do you have queued up for your next cozy time?
Thanks, man. So yeah, as we mentioned, next one is a UI designer for a game, and that's right now we're filming this, we're recording this on what day is it today? May 8th. So next week from May 8th on Wednesday, I think, or I think it's Wednesday. We'll have a UI designer for a very, very famous game. Toaster says, what is the first thing you're gonna do when this corona shit is over?
Probably go get good food. Go see friends.
Good sushi.
Yeah.
Go play some board games at our friend's place. Actually, and I'll probably I don't think I do this much, but I'll probably give somebody a hug. Is what I would do.
Right, ostrich. Because if you only had one more day, but could spend it with anyone, in any time, in any place, 1, who would you bring? 2, when would you travel to? And 3, where would you be?
Ooh. More day. Anyone, anytime, in any place? Who would you bring? Okay. Do you have your answers?
I do not. I don't know what I don't know who I would bring, but I would want to see like historical Japan, where I can just wear kimono every day, and where the roads aren't paved yet, and so people are still in it's like I would love to go see feudal Japan and see what it was like, I guess. Probably, of course, like it's very romanticized now in like modern like media, but I do want to see what it was like, like the whole atmosphere and architecture and everything must have been back then. That would be really cool.
Who would you bring?
Yeah, I have no idea who I would bring.
Can I call dibs on that? So you can bring me. Okay, I would bring Blue to when, huh? Okay, so I would bring Blue to my high school when I was a high schooler.
Oh my god.
To laugh at me, and I think that's a part of your life that you don't get to share. Because I never met her then. So I kind of want her to see me when I was like in high school, because we talk about it a lot, and I want to share that. And then be like, you see, and then but we only have 1 day left, so I don't know if that's like the best, but I mean, in the sense that I do want to share my whole life with Blue, I think that would be worth it if that was just like the end. Like, yeah. And where would you be? In the library, because that's where I used to hang out. All right. Tangled asks, how has streaming affected your work-life relationship?
I mean, it's changed everything. So I used to go out. I used to not really be home much when I used to work before streaming. Like when I worked in the fashion industry, I'd leave in the morning and then get home at night, and then we'd eat dinner together, and then we'd sleep, and that's it. So it wasn't. I didn't have much time to kind of hang out and whatnot. So it definitely gave us more time to spend with each other and more time to spend with Anu, which is a really big thing.
Yeah.
I think.
That's huge. Now Anu's not lonely anymore at home.
Yeah.
But it definitely does. It's also, there's the negative sides to it where it's, and Joey was talking about it too, but when's our off time? Like when's our personal time is a question that they, I think a lot of people that do this have. And that's something we have to talk about. And I guess what I realized that communication is more important than ever. And you realize the closer you sit and you do this every day, you kind of fall into this pitfall of not communicating. You think like you understand each other, but half the time you don't. So you gotta verbalize it. Is what I realized, because we would be eating dinner and be like, so I think about this, and either me or you would just be like, wait, what? That's what you were thinking? Like, okay, let's we need
to talk.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, yeah.
And it's not about like, oh, I don't think this relationship is working, or it could just be simple things like, yeah, today's stream wasn't, I wasn't really like feeling it, and you would just be like, wait, I thought that was a great stream or something like that, and then you realize you're always kind of on a different wavelength. So communication is definitely more important. We communicate a lot more.
For sure.
A lot more. Existence.
Because have you guys ever heard of any fortune tellers that can actually predict one's future?
I not me personally, but my friend used to go to this, like a famous one of those like fortune teller people in Shinjuku, and I'm not the type of guy that really believes in that kind of stuff, and he wasn't either, but
hello, Anya.
But there's some things that she said that really, really happened, and it's not one of those like ambiguous, like it could
happen to anyone kind of horoscope thing.
Yeah, like it's not one of those either. It was like extremely specific, and so it was just like maybe. But for me personally, I've never been to that person. I don't know anyone personally.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who can predict the future. I don't really believe in fortune tellers either, so I've never really taken any of it seriously, to be completely honest.
Yeah, you have to see it to believe it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we both because mine was it was kind of like through somebody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if that was like a complete meme question, but we like went straight serious answer to that. But yeah. Aman says, well, most important question: your favorite pasta shape? Penne is the way. I
like the bow tie.
I think we actually talked about this on stream.
We did.
Yeah.
Regular says, I almost walked away with someone's coat and wallet once. And another instance, I've seen some idiot break out a bag of flour in a freshman college party 2 weeks into starting school. Music promptly stopped and everyone refused to address him for the remainder of the evening. What has been the worst / best party foul you've ever experienced or witnessed?
Oh, that's a really good question. Party foul? Thankfully, I'm usually in the background for these kind of things, so which might be hard to believe, but usually like in a group of friends, I'm just like, I usually witness these.
Yeah, I've only witnessed some, and I mean, there was one time in college where a girl pre-gamed too hard to the point where when we all got to the actual party, she ended up puking all over the floor, and she had to get sent home. So she couldn't even make it to the party, and her friends had to clean up her puke. So.
Yeah. That's it's very unfortunate. I went to a party once, and there was a couple of party fouls. One was like.
Invited to a party?
I hosted it, so no, I'm just kidding. It was just a gathering of 3 or 4 friends. Okay, I call it fucking a party. Okay, I went to a 3 to 4 person party, and they were like, let's do beer pong, right? And then so I like, okay, so we set up the table and everything, and we were playing beer pong. That was like the first time I didn't know what that was, so I was like learning as I go. We're all setting it up, and the dude's already drunk, and he pours in the last cup with beer, and as he's doing that, he just tips it over, and then everything, like before the first game, like everything just goes to shit on the table, and we're like, okay, well that's fine. That's like one, and that wasn't even bad. Like you can just, whatever. Everyone's having fun. Set up, play a couple games, and then somebody just starts crying. Like somebody there just starts crying, and they lock themselves in the bathroom.
Oh God.
And there's just this huge line in front of the bathroom of three people. So there's a line, and we can't go to the bathroom. And there's like people like being out the balcony, and it was just like,
oh
this
my God,
like,
that's
it
gross.
was just like, dude, like we want to get back to the fun, but we can't. We understand, but the hard time. We're all graduating, but we need to go. So that really like bummed me out. I remember that bummed me out hard. That happened. I'm sure there's a ton, and probably
I could probably think of more.
Many more where I was probably the party pooper. But I'm the life of the party, as everybody knows on stream. So I never ruin parties. I never get invited to them. Ash asks,
all right, moving on.
do you guys read books? If yes, any favorite genre or book in particular? I know it's basic, and maybe you've even answered it already.
We do read books, not recently though, but what's your favorite genre?
I like novels. I like that's probably what I read most. I started reading one of those a lot more like business books in the last 2 years, because they're like super fast. You can just go through them really fast. But novels, I think one of my favorites of all time is a Murakami Haruki book. It is a Haruki Murakami. It's either, I think it's in Japanese, in English, I think it's called The Wind Blows. It's his first one. It's extremely good, although he hates it. He's outright said, I wish I never wrote that book. That series is really, really good. It's kind of like, it's just so cool. It's like, the character's cool. He's like the perfect amount of edgy. And then it goes like, when you get into, cause it's like a couple books, and then it goes into it doesn't start off like if you've read Haruki books, it's very like, there's a really good mix of like fantasy and all that stuff, and kind of this like really lukewarm, if it was a color like almost like gray colored fantasy, and which is really cool. And then you just get this splash of like pink. It's like really fantasy, but it's really dark, and I really, really like that balance. He doesn't have that in the first book. It's completely, it's before he found that, and I think on the third book, it starts to get very, very Murakami Haruki, and you can kind of see this shift, and it's super cool, because usually it would just be super really random for someone to go into the world of dreams and like these talking animals, but he does it really well. And so I really, really, I think it's called The Wind Blows. I might be mixing that up with the Ghibli film, but yeah, it's really good. I actually gifted that when my friend was in the hospital. He's like, I need something, give me a book, and I just gave him that series. It's definitely one of my favorite books.
And so what's your favorite like genre?
I think like another like something like story, like fantasy novels, like nonfiction. I read like biographies here and there, but whatever Murakami Haruki is probably my favorite genre.
For me, I am a big fan of sci-fi books. They're my favorite. I had a brain fart, so I actually had to look it up. But I really like probably one of my favorite books. I have a lot of favorite books. I can't really just pinpoint one, but one example is I really love Never Let Me Go. That I've never actually seen the movie. I've only seen the book. Sorry, I've only read the book. But
who is that? He's like Japanese, right?
But he's not. I think he was born and raised in.
Yeah. Is it England?
I thought. I think it's England. Yeah.
He doesn't speak Japanese that much.
Yeah, Ishiguro Kazuo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that like when I read that book, that like blew me away. Like I guess like saying sci-fi as my favorite genre isn't really that good of a representation, but and this is gonna sound weird, but I like books that make me kind of depressed. Like, I like sad books.
Like sad songs. It's like,
Yeah.
I understand that, yeah.
I just really like books that make me cry, or like just like makes me really think about something, or just makes me really sad. So I just like I like melancholy books. That's probably a good word for it. I like very melancholy, kind of dark books. And a lot of it tends to be sci-fi because it's like this impending future of destruction and hopelessness.
He has that one book of short stories. They all revolve around musicians.
Oh, yeah.
And extremely poetic. Very sad too, but that one's really good. I forgot what it was called. We have it somewhere over there unless Anu ate it, but but yeah. I know you really, really like that. You really liked Never Let Me Go.
I do. It's so good.
We've never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie, yeah. I've only read the book, but I've read that book so many times. I think the physical copy I have of the book is like ruined. It's so dirty.
So Fuchan asks, what are your favorite kinds of teas? Are there any specific teas or coffee you want to try, assuming things like budget and accessibility, etc. were no issue? Also, if you could go to... Okay, let's go to the first one.
First one. Favorite kind of tea?
Green tea. I know this is like really boring, but it's probably because like I've tried probably a very limited types of tea, and I was just thinking about this on the way home because I got barley tea, and I really like barley tea. It's also good for like hydrating out of all the teas because a lot of the green teas dehydrate you.
Is barley tea green tea?
No, barley mugicha.
Yeah, but what would that be considered? It's not black tea, right?
Roasted barley. I don't know. I'm talking about ryokucha.
Yeah.
But
like traditional, like green tea. Yeah.
I love the bitterness of green tea. That's definitely my go-to. If there's anything I want to try, anything that I don't know, man, anything that I never experienced, I'm always down to give it a shot. There's probably things that I don't even know, like, in the world of tea. So
my favorite tea is I haven't had this for years, so it might just be like what I remember, but my mom used to get this black tea that had like dried strawberries in it.
Wow.
That she would get in Japan. I've been looking for the store forever, but I can never remember the name of it, so I've never like found it. But it's it's black tea with strawberries, and I think that was my favorite ever. Because you didn't have to add any sugar or anything, and it was just it was like, it had this like very subtle sweetness to it, but it was just it smelled great, it tastes great, it was just fantastic. So that's probably my favorite. And then I've actually always wanted to try traditional, like very traditional matcha, because I've had like you can get like, because you can get bottled matcha and everything. I've never been in like a tea ceremony where they actually grind it up for you and serve it right
Apparently it's super bitter, right?
Right? Yeah, I want to try it though.
Yeah, I want to try
it. Probably
too.
because they give you like these little candies, like these sugar candies that you eat with it.
Right. Yeah.
So good too.
I've had those because you can buy those.
Yeah.
But
they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not something you want to eat by yourself.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think it complements the tea really well. So that is something I would like to try someday.
Oh, also I like peppermint tea.
Peppermint
you
tea.
I love the mint flavor. I love it's peppermint tea with honey is like god tier. So.
I also want to try that. There's this one tea where it's like they put like there's a dried flower in it, I think, an actual flower, and so once you put like hot water in it, the water blooms.
Okay,
so I forgot what it was called.
Because a lot of tea is like you do put the dried leaves.
Yeah, no, but it's actually like a whole flower and it blooms once like the tea's ready, kind of thing. Yeah, but it looked so cool. I don't know what it is, but I think that'd be kind of a cool one to try. Let's see. Also, if you could go to any 3 restaurants in the world, or in Japan specifically, which one would they be and why?
I want to go to Jiro, the sushi.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to Jiro Sushi. Ibashi Jiro dake. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go to the famous omurice place.
Oh yeah.
The dude.
The fluffy omurice.
Yeah. Somewhere overseas. I'm not really familiar with too many places.
I mean, honestly, for me, I think instead of restaurants, I want to go try all the different like food stalls and like street food vendors, like in like different parts of the world. I think that'd be really cool. It's
the
like
night markets. And
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like
Like I can't say what specifically, but we've seen so many like shows and videos of people like eating at getting food at like street vendors, and those like marketplaces, and they look so good.
Yeah, it's
So I think that'd be really
super
fun.
cheap too.
Yeah.
Like, it's super affordable. Actually, the last one, like, I want like the most American barbecue, like, just fucking I can't even eat it all. Crazy. When somebody says, okay, this is American, this is the American style barbecue, this is the place, I want to go there, because I've never had that in my life. Like the most, like, it could be touristy or like it could be local, I don't care. Just like the most, like saying McDonald's of it is probably not good, but like just
like a steakhouse.
The one. I want to go there. I want to go to the one. Is what I want to go to. Who owns more clothes, you or Anu? Now, not
yeah.
joking, probably Anu. And
But the thing is, he's gotten big, guys, so he doesn't fit in half of his clothes.
so more clothes coming soon to Anu's body.
Or maybe I should just resew Gray's t-shirts into his clothes.
We've already done that. Like my beanies are like, we poked a hole in my beanie, and which I recommended. I said we should do that, and then we have a little like thing for him. Like it's, please Blue, I'm tired of just having clothes that I don't wear or something. So just
All right, no, you're getting a whole new wardrobe.
feel free, Anu. You get all my clothes. Okay. So more clothes for Anu. And yeah, that was the last question for this time. Maybe we got more questions, but for now, I think it's a good place. Blue, what are you looking forward to for the next month?
Oh man, I hope the situation in the world gets better.
Yeah.
To the point where we can kind of see some improvement. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I hope it doesn't get worse. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, if not better, just keep it.
Yeah, just keep it low, or like nothing gets worse, I guess.
Yeah. That's really.
It's either better or just the same.
Yeah.
Would be better.
I'm glad we're streaming though, really, because we get to hang out with people.
Yeah.
In the
it's not
same
so
way
lonely.
that we did before. Like nothing really has changed in that sense.
We can kind of keep a very like daily routine.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you looking forward to?
Next month, I mean, we got some feels, not next
This
month, but this month, I guess. Got more feels cozies. I think we have more ideas for streams. We're at a point where we don't have a specific main game,
Yeah.
and it's always fun discussing and figuring out what we're gonna do next. So I'm always excited to see what we're gonna do. It's always
we
gonna
also
be.
have to do your birthday stream too. So.
Oh yeah, we got a 2-year stream. We got the
Birthday
2-year
stream.
We got my birthday stream, which is in June, which is next month. But
So we've got lots of things coming up.
for Blluist, yeah, we have a lot of stuff set up. So I'm excited. I'm just stoked. I think we're doing great. I'm really happy with things. A lot from the beginning of the year to now. I think it's definitely
We're doing great.
a lot of. I'm a lot more positive about stuff. So it's good.
For sure.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys next time on the
We'll see you
Bland
next time, guys.
Podcast.
Bye bye.
Later.